was probably in the bathroom doing some makeup or something, or like hair, or taking care of something. And then I heard you say something about a reshoot, and my heart just sank. And I was like, I don't want to do it again. I'm Fern Lim, and I'm an actor slash producer slash other things, and I live in Los Angeles, California. Um, yeah, not that it matters these days. You can be anywhere. I could be anywhere and just say that I'm in LA. I could say I'm in New York right now. You would never know. Maisa reached out to me and was like, "Want to do this remote film experiment? Don't know how it's gonna work yet, but we'll figure it out along the way." And I was like, "Sure, why not?"
Can you put the camera further back on?
I'm not sure if you're gonna want like this side of things, or sorry, I'm gonna make you dizzy. So I mean, I could always be doing yoga in this direction instead. So my unless you think it's funny to have my butt in the air towards you.
Let's see. We'll find out.
Since the director couldn't come over in person, both due to the lockdown and the fact that she's literally in the opposite corner of the country from me, I recorded a video tour of my apartment and took photos of my clothes and of fun things I already have that could be interesting story or production elements. The director took all that information and wrote a script that could be shot in my apartment using clothes and props that I already own. I sent the director photos of my wardrobe so she could select outfits that would fit my character and the color story of the film. Since I would be the wardrobe department during the shoot, I organized all my costumes on hangers with tags listing scene information for easy reference.
If you need to do production design, remember that you are basically decorating a new room. Like, yes, you have stuff there, but this is not your room. This is the character's room. And you're starting from scratch. You've got like the bones there because you kind of have to have certain furniture bits there. But like, consider it as a project where you just moved in and you need to like redecorate a place. And then that might help me like understand how much effort it actually takes.
The director sent over diagrams and detailed notes on how to decorate the space. We also had a meeting to finalize the set before the shoot. Let's just say the half of my studio apartment that wasn't the set descended into complete chaos during this time.
Because I am actor plus, PA plus everything except director and cinematographer. I'm outsourcing everything I need to do into a massive to-do list because that's what my brain is going to need.
I don't own professional studio lights, but I do own a ton of household lamps because I like lights. I sent photos and technical specs of all my lamps and light bulbs to both the director and cinematographer. I also made a DIY reflector, bounce, and a flag from stuff I already had lying around the apartment.
I cut the light like a god.
We are filmmaking gods.
Oh, now you can't see. I love it.
We used an iPhone and an app called Filmic Pro, which is a combination that's been used to make feature films such as Tangerine and High Flying Bird. Since I would be operating the camera on set, the director and cinematographer sent me the shot list and diagrams illustrating camera placement. I even used my extensive washi tape collection on the floor, tripod, and even my futon couch frame to make camera placement easier during the shoot. We also did multiple rehearsals to test camera angles and lens settings.
Oh my gosh. Oh boy.
I love these diagrams.
It's getting worse and worse. Oh,
okay. Or better and better, more personality.
I mean, if the concept is getting across, I'm okay with that.
And you might be wondering about that space heater wearing a watermelon helmet. We used it as my stand-in, so I could set the focus on the camera without having to physically be in the shot.
Dear past Fern, please start pre-production prep a lot sooner. Love, future Fern.
The first thing I recorded were my lines, which were all voiceover.
Welcome to my voiceover studio. I'm in the closet.
because I'm recording stuff. Since we were using my iPhone as a camera, we scheduled the shoot in 3-hour blocks with 2-hour breaks in between. That gave us a chance to recharge my phone, recharge myself, and transfer the footage to an external hard drive.
But yeah, there was something really like fun about being able to do this semi-solo, but then when I look back on it, I'm like, obviously I could not have done this alone because I wouldn't have written what you wrote. I wouldn't have been able to like come up with all the different shots. I wouldn't have thought to like set up the lighting and like the camera angles in the way that Emily did. So this was still very much a team effort, even if like I was handling a lot of like the on-set roles.
During the shoot, we followed the shot list and schedule the director had prepared. The cinematographer gave me instructions over Zoom on where to place the tripod and how to adjust the lighting.
It is 10:30, but I've been up since 4 a.m., so it feels really late. But we just finished day 1, and this is the insanity that is now my apartment.
There were some unexpected bumps during the shoot, like finding out that iPhone cameras don't do great in low light situations, which meant that several hours of footage we'd shot would be unusable. We scheduled a reshoot for later in the week and added as much light as possible to the night scene by using every lamp I own. It worked.
I didn't expect how long it would take for my home to recoup because everything just got like completely exploded and like things were just moved in places I couldn't find things. And one time I couldn't find my toothbrush because it was a prop. And I was like, where did I put my toothbrush? I just want to brush my teeth. I actually really love post-production because it's just like it feels like you should be close to the end and then you realize how many layers still need to be added on to make it a complete project.
The cinematographer composed some beautiful shots despite never physically being in the location. The director edited everything together, and I doodled the ending credits. The sound designer and composer created a fantastic soundtrack and soundscape. The colorist gave the visuals the final polish.
I think it's really great that we can add an extra sort of like tool to the kit of, how we can make films during this time. And it just, requires a bit more creativity as far as like lights, because, I don't have good lighting and storytelling is something that you can do through all these different workarounds. Like we don't have to have a big set in person all the time for every single story. There are many stories that can be told through remote filmmaking. Not all of them, obviously, but many. To have fun. Like, it helps to do things without expectations of like, I will have a piece for my reel at the end of this, because then it makes it more pressure that's not necessary when you're doing something completely new. And just to like have an attitude of like, this is all an experiment, we're going to roll with it and see how it goes. And so if you go in it with that, like, I'm a pioneer on an adventure on the Oregon Trail, or like, whatever framework you want to use to make it lighter for yourself, then it just makes it a lot easier to get through it and to like enjoy the moments that can be enjoyed and to like not lose your head over moments that, just kind of suck. I would also advise people to, this is such an actor thing to say, but like to be gentle with yourself, because like things are probably going to suck at some point along the process. It doesn't mean you made a mistake. It just means that you're creating something and that's just part of it. Like something's almost always going to suck in the middle of creating something. And then there's magic. Hopefully. If there's not, that's fine. You learn something.
Wait, is someone keeping track?